What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another Movie Makeup Friday. I'm excited about today's look. Today we're going to be recreating Vampira. Yes, and if you guys were here last year, I also did Elvira. So this is kind of, I shouldn't be doing her because I liked Elvira and there was beef and all that, but you know what? We're here. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make this look. So let's jump into it. Let's get started. We're going to talk about her, about how she became who she became, all of that jazz while creating her makeup. I will also be listing everything that we use down below in the description box. So if you're wondering, hey, what the heck is she using? It will all be there. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first and foremost, this is gonna be fun, right? I think, maybe, we'll see. She has eyebrows that are like, pew, pew. Mine don't do that. So I'm going to basically glue them really quick and then we'll officially start the video. So let me glue them up and then we'll go from there. So Vampira was originally born, I don't know how to say her first name, dude. I don't know. Yes, Elizabeth Anemi. People have called her Nermi. I'm not really too sure, to be honest. I did check Wikipedia. Wikipedia had this as her original last name. I think people would just call her Nermi. No idea. But that's generally what her name was. When it comes to her childhood is another one of those things that people don't quite know. It had been said that she was born in, what is it called? In Boston, and then others said she was born in Oregon. So it was one of those where it was like, okay, where was she born? We don't know. All we do know is that she did eventually relocate to Astoria, Oregon. Her father was said to be a lecturer and editor, and then her mom primarily would do like transcribing work. She would just kind of like be a, what is it called? Like an interpreter type. Now keep in mind, she was born in the 1920s. 1922 to be exact. So when it comes to like her personal life, growing up, being young, there really wasn't too much information that I was able to find, so that's kind of the general gist. In 1940, which at that age she would have been about 18, she decided to move to Los Angeles. Her goal was to pursue a acting career. She later also did decide to move to New York as well, but she started in the LA area first. In New York, she ended up pursuing a lot of modeling gigs, and she ended up modeling for a guy by the name of Alberto Vargas, Bernard of Hollywood, and Man Ray. While she was in New York, she was also hired and then fired by a casting agent by the name of Mae West. There was a Broadway show called Catherine Was Great, and apparently Mae thought that she would be upstaged by Miss Nermi, and so she was like, yo, you're fired, you're out of here. So she definitely had talent, she definitely had beauty, she definitely had class, and people noticed it. She did also get casted for a show called Spooks Scandals, in which she would like faint and be dramatic, and people started to notice her. And they were like, okay, she's kind of seductive, she wears these tight clothes, yes, I like this. And in that same time frame, she also worked as a showgirl. It was said that in the 1950s, she primarily kind of would, I'm gonna do my eyebrows real quick before I continue talking. Basically, I'm going to attempt to mimic this dramatic elf, so let's try it. Okay, eyebrows are done. So now let's continue with her story. By the 1950s, she basically went all in, full time, and she was making primarily all of her money by actually being a pinup model for like magazines and stuff. So officially, how did she actually end up getting the role of Vampira at this point? Now this is where it gets fun. So she's working as a what's it called, a pinup model at this point. And so she's kind of doing her thing, and there's a masquerade ball that happens, and she decides to go check it out, see what's up. And when she goes inspired as Morticia Addams from the Addams family. That was kind of her idea. And she wore this like tight framed dress, and just kind of, she had this very vampy look to her. And she caught the attention of a guy by the name of Hunt Stromberg Jr. And he really tried hard to get her information after the event, and then eventually finally did get her info, and basically was like, hey, I want you to host some shows on the TV. She got the role, all of that jazz, and then the idea of the name Vampira came from her husband at the time, whose name was Dean Reisner, and she said that she was influenced by Dragon Lady from a comic strip. I'm gonna do my liner really quick. Oh, we did it, okay. So on April 30th, 1954, her show basically aired on TV at midnight for about 4 weeks. And I'm assuming people seem to really start digging it because they pushed her time slot to 11 shortly after those 4 weeks. And then by March of that same year, they pushed her all the way to 10:30. So people were really enjoying the Vampira show. Unfortunately, though, in 1955, her show did get canceled, but she did retain the rights to the character, which did allow her to have a little bit more flexibility and kind of take it a little bit further. Doing a few other things kind of in the LA area with the character. I think she had a few like movies and stuff. Few little installments, TV show sort of vibe appearances. But by 1962, the career was kind of over with, surprisingly. She ended up pursuing a career in linoleum. Yeah, linoleum and carpentry. And then in the early 1960s, she did end up creating her own like antique store, and she had like boutique items in there, and specifically kind of took it to like a jewelry sort of thing, did like jewelry trinkets that she would make and stuff like that. In her little store that she called Vampira's Attic, she did make, like I said, jewelry and stuff like that, and she did end up making jewelry for some famous people, including like the Zappa family and such. So she did kind of start doing her thing with it, but again, it wasn't anything that was like huge. So I don't know, it's kind of weird just to kind of see that progression. You go from like TV talk show host, amazing, people love you, you start doing like carpentry, linoleum, random shit, and then like you make your own boutique store, people buy from you. It's kind of weird. I don't know what to tell you. It is said, though, that she did have one kid, and the kid was with a guy by the name of Orson Welles. But Orson Welles apparently was married to Rita Hayworth. So it wasn't, you know, couldn't really keep the kid. So she ended up putting up the kid for adoption. Yeah, but that's how you get this Vampira-inspired look. I wish I had a little bit more info, but today was kind of like on a whim. It kind of hit me like, oh yeah, do Vampira. It should be fun. But here we are. So just to kind of give you a general rundown of this look and kind of what we were able to do, not do, etc. The eyebrows, like I said, they're very tricky. You're going to want to kind of start from the base of your brow and move it up to give it that more dramatic look. When you're doing your face, doing a form of like a contour with the white and the black is pretty good, so that way you can have that extra. If you have a matte black, you can also use a matte black eyeshadow to give yourself that contour as well. It's a pretty simple look. It's really just a matter of making sure that everything stays in place and doesn't move. But she did eventually end up passing away. She passed away on January 10th of 2008 in her garage apartment in Los Angeles, and she currently rests in the Griffith Lawn section of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. She was pretty big, monumental. She definitely inspired a bunch. I mean, the Addams family specifically inspired so many people, from her to Elvira, so on and so forth. And like I had said in my last video with Elvira, they definitely had a bit more of a beef sort of thing going on. But, you know, nor here nor there. Moving forward. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. It was fun to recreate. Let me know in the comments who I should do next, and we'll see you guys next time. See ya.